So, I've got something super interesting for you today, and it's honestly pretty wild.
Oh my God, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I literally cannot wait to get into this. The Grammys were absolutely insane this year. And there's one moment that just, completely broke the internet.
For this episode of Grammy 2005 Eye-Catching Moment, we're diving into probably the most talked about red carpet appearance I've ever seen.
Listen, when I tell you this is going to be absolutely mind-blowing, we're talking about Bianca Censori and that absolutely shocking outfit she wore, or should I say, didn't wear?
The whole internet is literally exploding about this. And there's so much to unpack here. Like the legal stuff, the fashion angle.
And trust me, we're going to get into all of it, every single detail, because this is seriously going to change red carpet fashion forever. You know what I mean?
So before we dive into the actual Grammy moment, I think we need to talk about, how we even got here, because the naked dress trend was literally everywhere in 2024.
Oh my God, yes, yes. It was absolutely impossible to look at any major event without seeing these incredible, and I mean incredible, sheer looks. The Academy Awards, the Met Gala, everywhere you looked, celebrities were embracing this whole naked dress movement.
And who were some of the big names that really went for it?
So many amazing celebrities totally owned this trend. We had Elle Fanning, right? And then Kim Kardashian, who's always pushing boundaries. And don't even get me started on Doja Cat and Charlize Theron. They all just absolutely killed it with their interpretations.
I remember seeing Jennifer Lawrence at the Vanity Fair Oscars party.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking about. She wore this absolutely gorgeous, fall-winter 1996 Givenchy piece that was just... It was completely sheer, but somehow looked so angelic. And it had these beautiful hand-embroidered clovers. You know what I mean?
And then on the complete opposite end of the spectrum...
Exactly. We had Charlie XCX in that incredible yellow Givenchy number that was just completely out there, totally pushing boundaries with the whole nipple-bearing situation. These looks really showed how versatile the naked dress trend could be, right? You could go super elegant or totally risque, and it all just worked somehow.
So, tell me about what actually happened at the Grammys, because I keep hearing about this dramatic moment with Bianca Censori.
Oh my goodness, so this was absolutely wild. The atmosphere at the Grammys was actually pretty subdued, right? Most people were wearing these really muted colors and keeping things low-key because of, the LA wildfire situation.
And then Bianca shows up.
Yes. So she arrives with Kanye, or Ye, as he's going by now. And at first everyone's actually kind of surprised because she's wearing this long feather coat, which is totally not her usual style, right? Because, she's become pretty famous for these super revealing outfits lately.
What happened next?
So this is where it gets absolutely wild. They're on the red carpet, right? And literally within seconds of stopping for photos, she just turns her back to all the cameras and drops the coat. And I mean completely drops it.
Oh my gosh.
And underneath, she's wearing, well, I don't even know if you can call it wearing, but it's this tiny sleeveless mini dress made of completely transparent mesh. And when I say transparent, I mean totally transparent. There was absolutely nothing left to the imagination.
And what was Kanye doing during all of this?
That's actually one of the most interesting parts. He's just standing there next to her, wearing this super basic black t-shirt and pants, totally expressionless behind these sunglasses. And there were all these rumors flying around that they got escorted out, but that actually wasn't true at all. He was there as a nominee, and they just walked the carpet and left in their car.
So this whole naked dress thing, it's not exactly new, right? Has this kind of thing happened before?
Oh my goodness, yes. And it's actually got this really fascinating history that goes way back. One of the earliest examples was Mallory West back in 1936. Can you believe that? She wore this absolutely incredible piece in this film called Go West, Young Man. And it was so ahead of its time.
What made it so special?
So the thing that made these early designs so incredible was how they created this illusion, right? They weren't actually showing anything at all. The designers used these really clever techniques with, embroidery and placement to make it look like you were seeing skin when you actually weren't.
That's actually pretty amazing.
right? And then you've got someone like Carol Baker in 1964 wearing this absolutely stunning Balmain dress while promoting The Carpetbaggers, and it was using the exact same concept, just executed in this totally different way.
So, how did we get from there to, like, what we're seeing today?
Oh, this is where it gets really interesting. So in the late 90s, Jean-Paul Gaultier just completely revolutionized everything. He started doing these trompe-l'œil patterns. That's like these optical illusions of the naked human form printed right onto blazers and dresses. And it was such a big deal that designers today, like Glenn Martin's, are still being inspired by it. You know those acid-colored, heat map-style pieces that Bella Hadid and ASAP Rocky have been wearing? That's totally a modern take on Gaultier's original concept.
So, these naked dresses weren't always so revealing?
Exactly. Like, that's the really fascinating thing about it. The original naked dress was all about the power of suggestion, right? It was actually quite modest when you really think about it. It's just that over time, the concept has kind of evolved and pushed further and further, and now we're seeing interpretations that are just completely different from what those original designers intended.
So what happened after Bianca's dramatic reveal? Like, how did people react to this?
Oh my goodness, it was absolutely wild. So there were these reports flying around everywhere saying that they'd been like escorted out of the awards show. But, and this is really interesting, a source actually came forward and totally denied that. They said Kanye, or Ye as he goes by now, was actually a nominee, and he just walked the carpet and left on his own.
But there must have been some kind of consequences, right?
Well, that's the really interesting part, you know? Like, people were super concerned about California's indecent exposure laws because, and this is actually quite serious, it's totally illegal to expose yourself if it could offend anyone. But, and here's the thing, the LAPD actually said they weren't even made aware of any incident at the Grammys.
And what about Kanye's involvement in all of this?
So this is where things get really complicated. Ye actually posted on Instagram calling it custom couture, but then he deleted it later. And people on social media, they were really questioning his role in choosing these outfits because, you know, this isn't the first time Bianca's been seen in these super revealing looks.
What do you mean?
Like, there's been this whole pattern, right? She's been photographed going to music studios basically naked under see-through rain jackets and even going to dinner in LA wearing just like a bra and sheer tights. And every single time, people have been questioning whether Ye is, you know, influencing these choices.
The whole thing sounds pretty controversial.
Absolutely. And what makes it even more fascinating is that while Ye's standing there in this totally normal outfit, just a black t-shirt and pants with sunglasses, Bianca's literally causing this massive media storm. And the really interesting thing is, neither of them seem to address any of the controversy directly. They just shared these Polaroid photos of the look on their social media, almost like they were celebrating it.
So what does this whole moment actually mean for fashion? Like, where do we go from here?
Oh my goodness, this is such a fascinating question because, you know, what Bianca did has really, really pushed the boundaries of what we consider fashion on the red carpet. Like, we've seen the naked dress trend evolve over years and years, right? But this takes it to a completely different level.
Do you think it'll change how other celebrities approach red carpet fashion?
Well, that's the thing. I think what's really, really significant here is that Bianca has kind of broken this unspoken rule about suggestion versus actually being naked. You know what I mean? Like, the whole point of naked dresses has always been about the artistry and the illusion, but this just completely throws that out the window.
The impact on red carpet culture must be huge.
Absolutely massive. And here's what I find super interesting. This moment has really forced us to question where the line is between fashion and, you know, just nudity. Because traditionally, these red carpet moments are all about the craftsmanship and the design and the way the garments are constructed. But when you strip all of that away, literally in this case, what are we actually left with?
Do you think this might actually change the rules for future events?
You know what? I really think it might. Because award shows and these big fashion events, they're probably going to have to think really carefully about their dress codes now. And it's not just about the rules. It's about how this shapes our whole conversation around fashion and what we consider acceptable or innovative on the red carpet.
So as we wrap this up, what do you think is, like, the lasting impact of this whole Grammy moment.
You know what? I really think this is going to be one of those moments that people talk about for years and years to come. Like, it's not just about Bianca's outfit anymore. It's about, and this is really important, it's about how this completely changes the game for red carpet fashion.
Do you see this as sort of a turning point?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And here's the thing. We're at this really interesting crossroads where fashion is going to have to, really figure out what it wants to be. Like, are we going to see more moments like this, or is there going to be this huge pushback? Because honestly, I think this might actually make some people go completely in the opposite direction.
Any final thoughts for our Grammy 2025 eye-catching moment listeners?
You know what? I think we're all just going to have to wait and see how this plays out in the coming months, but one thing's for sure. The red carpet is never, ever going to be quite the same after this. And that's what makes fashion so incredibly exciting, right? It's always evolving, always pushing boundaries, and sometimes it takes moments like this to really shake things up. Okay, it is almost time for this episode. We'll see you in the next episode.